we know in terms,
Sorry, Deepa. Had to record it. Go ahead.
no problem. Yeah. So as we are talking about the purchase processes, some of the definitions should be at the purchase at the product level, and that's what we're going to review first. So I have just opened one SKU. Most of the time, this SKU on the top is going to be manufacturer model number because that's how we sync it with your website, RWS or OneShop. But there are times some of our customers do not want to have this at the SKU can be their own. They want AltheaSuite generated auto SKU because they do not want to print this on the sales, so that there is a fear that, oh, this customer might search for this model number here and there and get it sourced out. So this is the model number that is the sales SKU. When you make a sale, this gets presented to your customer. When you make a purchase, and then over here, it's important to allocate the preferred vendor. So in this case, it's showing IKEA. A couple of things. Allocating a preferred vendor is very useful. Now, when you are creating quickly back order POs, reorder POs, will automatically pick that preferred vendor and create that purchase order. You can also give your vendor barcode here. So maybe the vendor barcode for this product is maybe 88998. I'm just adding that random number. There are times when you have products where the minimum order quantity is required, that this manufacturer says that a minimum of 10 must be ordered together. He's not going to send you one or two. So this particular space, and all this can be done with bulk update. We do not expect you to go through your 20,000 SKUs and add it, but these are some of the options that you have available. So if I said 4, that means even if I am creating a back order, or if I'm creating a restocking, like a reorder to have my safety stock, it's going to automatically match that number or more to meet the requirement. Order in multiple ops, like, this comes as a set of 2 or 4. So always order in multiple. So if the reorder is 3, automatically make it 4 because I said order in multiple of 2. Or you could just leave it blank. Purchase lead dates are very important. So if I said that normally my purchase lead dates are 10, that means now whenever I am creating a PO, it's going to automatically give a date as 10 days later as the product arrival date. Once again, very important in the setting, because now when you are making your sale, we're showing you which product is in hand and whatever is coming in future on which date. So you can make a decision when you can make this delivery. So these are some simple settings at the product definition level that can be looked at. For our furniture customers, a lot of times we have seen that maybe the measuring unit in which you are receiving. So take an example, you're receiving this chair as one quantity from your manufacturer, but it's actually 2 chairs together. So talk to our implementation team about that. We can apply a conversion factor. That means I am receiving it as one chair, but it's actually a set. So if I added here a conversion factor of receiving it as a pack, I don't have a pack, I will just quickly make it a pack. And then I say that a pack is, whatever that conversion is, it's automatically going to change that SKU and convert that to 2. So if one pack has 2 of these, I'll say convert one pack into 2 quantities as soon as I have received it. If one pack is already at 2 together and you want to make it as 1, then you'll put 0.5. So I don't want to confuse everybody. This is something we are very good at. Talk to us about it, and we can suggest that what's the conversion factor that needs to be added. I'll keep this simple. I'll make this back to the quantity. My one quantity is what I am purchasing, and I'm selling it as a quantity. So we'll copy this SKU, and I'll show you how to create a PO for this SKU and what will happen. We'll open it on another screen, and we will keep our definition open. So I will go ahead and make a new purchase order, And purchase orders can be quickly made in several ways. So I'm just manually making it to show you what definitions we added at the product level and how it's going to affect. So my preferred vendor is IKEA. And then if I scan the SKU, if you see here, the PO got created with the vendor barcode, not my, because I might have created my own SKU, but my vendor does not understand that. So if you want to have two different SKUs and even have the ability to scan by either of them, but have sales to be a different SKU and purchase to be a different SKU, this is the way we will do the setting. So let's expand that screen. So I had defined my purchase lead dates as 10. So it automatically gave you an expected delivery date. For each line item that you add in AltheaSuite, there could be different purchase lead days. Now, this particular product, since I have not defined a purchase lead date, it gets added as a expected delivery date of today. You can still manually come here and put, no, I think it's going to come after 8 days and update that. This particular item, I said minimum order quantity is 4. So even if I added 1, it automatically changed to 4. So I can still override that and make it back 1. But those settings are going to be helpful for making such purchases where you are having these type of configurations. So this is about the product definition. Now let's go ahead and get to the next part, which is defining the reorder levels and how to manage that. In furniture and appliance, most of the times what we have seen is that your orders are back order. You receive an order and then you create a back order. But there are times where some of our customers want to keep some safety stock for some of the products. For such products where you want to keep safety stock, you can define reorder rules as per each warehouse you have. So I can say in my Bellevue warehouse, I'll just randomly select. There are advanced filters where you could quickly apply reorder rules based on filters of the item, or maybe you're applying it to only bedding category, or maybe if you have even brands defined, only Ashley brand or only Benchcraft brand, you can apply filters and apply that. So I can say for my bedding and appliance category, I have result of 23 products. I want to assign a reorder rule. I want to say that my safety stock is 8. That means I always want to have 8 in my stock. Purchase to maintain safety stock, meaning as soon as my stock is below 8, trigger a reorder. So maybe you got a new customer invoice and they give you an order of 8 or maybe 10 of these. So as soon as you made an invoice for 10, your stock is going to become -2. So AltheaSuite is going to trigger a reorder for 8 plus 2, 10, because you said my safety stock is 8. So it's going to even count the negative and give you that calculation. Or you do not want that. You are just saying to AltheaSuite that just purchase a fixed quantity. Whatever my stock is, create a PO of 8 more as soon as it is below 8. So either option can be used depending on your business. Rules can be different for different products. That's absolutely fine. But this is how you could do that setup. So now I have this setup that reorder when less than 8. Minimum safety stock to keep is 8. Now let's go ahead and how we will see that. And that's at my Bellevue warehouse I have kept. Now you are on your inventory screen. You're looking at your stock. There are very good ways to see what is in your hand. By default, it shows all warehouse stock. So I will go to my Bellevue warehouse to see what do I have in stock. Doesn't look like I have anything in stock right now. You can say, do not show me 0 stock. So I exactly want to see what is in stock. Maybe do not even show me negative stock. So it gives you exactly what is in stock in your warehouse. But now if I say, show only items to be reordered. At this time, it's going to show you everything which is below your safety stock level. We said that we want to have a minimum stock of 8. You don't have stock of all these. Everything is 0. Current quantity is 0. Reorder level is less than 8. Quantity to reorder is 8. Right from the screen, you can also say that include quantity from pending POs. So if I already have a PO which is on its way, consider that PO. do not let me create a new PO because I already have a PO coming. So by default, it is checked. Now you can say allow multiple selection and then select all of them and generate PO. How do you want to generate this PO? With your preferred vendor, or you're going to add a vendor yourself, or find the least price vendor from who I have purchased earlier, or find the vendor from whom I made the purchase last time. So mostly it's going to be preferred vendor. Now, when you are selecting that preferred vendor, if you have, we had 19 results at the back. If each of them has different preferred vendor, AltheaSuite is going to create 19 POs. Or if you have 10 of them with Ashley and another 8 with maybe 9 with Coaster, it's going to generate 2 POs. If I did not define a preferred vendor in this backend of my AltheaSuite, is going to say fail to generate a PO because we did not find the preferred vendor. So let's see if I have a preferred vendor. I don't know. So it's generating, it's giving me error that most of my products do not have preferred vendor. But let's see if, so no PO got generated because I don't have a preferred vendor. So I will come back here again and I'll say generate PO for selected item. This time I will say don't add any supplier. I will add it myself. So once I open that, it'll automatically bring all those products that were on the back screen. It's creating a new PO, bringing in all those 19 products. At this time, it's also checking your purchase lead days, reorder quantity, or anything, any product definitions you have done. Now, since I do not have preferred vendor, I will assign it myself. I'll say, okay, IKEA is the vendor for all these products. You see everything got added. It got added with 888 because that was our minimum order quantity. We want to restock it with that. And I'm going to create this purchase PO. So now we have created a PO. You came to the screen again and you say, okay, show me orders to be reordered. Nothing is coming here because we already created a PO just now. But if you say include quantity from pending PO, let me uncheck that. Now it shows the whole thing again. If you do not want to consider what is arriving, this is going to let you now create a PO for everything again. Now it's up to you how you want to handle that. So this is one way of creating a PO, a quick way. Set your reorder levels, quickly check that box, show me reorder, what needs to be reordered, and have your preferred vendors allocated, and AltheaSuite will quickly create the POs. I know that most of you upload these purchase orders on your manufacturer website. We have very quick ways to export those purchase orders in an Excel so that you can go ahead and upload them. Eventually, we are also talking to all these vendors where they can give us an ability to directly upload a PO from AltheaSuite, and hopefully something by beginning of next year, we will have that going. So the next option is that you're of the type where you're going to create a PO when you receive a product, when you receive an order from your customer. You do not want to keep stock of the product. And one thing, another, this is the easiest way to see that what you need to reorder. But sometimes people say, I still need to have a notification, or maybe I need to have a scheduled email sent to my inbox of my purchase department or warehouse department that, hey, this is the short stock you need to order. Please talk to us and we can set that scheduled email for you guys that this product needs to be ordered. I have less time. I have a lot to cover. So I will go straight to the sales invoice. I am not focusing on orders today. I'll keep it very simple. We have a new invoice. I'm showing how to create a backorder PO. I will add a customer. I will add randomly some products. At this time, I can say all item needs to be delivered to customer. Quick way to see if I have stock is come here and see show stock. Let's see that I don't have stock, but here I can see if there is any pending PO arriving. I don't even have a PO coming up. If a PO was arriving in a date range, which we will cover in the next session, you could attach this sales to that PO so that you're booking it. This PO is coming. I am booking it, this product for this customer. I'm attaching an existing PO to my invoice that I'm creating. But right now I don't have stock. I'll put some prices here because we want to sell with some price. This price will come from your item definition. My database did not have a price. That's why this is the way it's showing. Okay, so now let's go ahead and make the payment. I'll quickly accept the payment because our focus is on the purchase. From here now, we are showing, I've talked about it several times, that you don't have stock. If you see, there is a color here. You can break it by item list. Do I have stock for any of the item in that order? No, I don't have stock for all these 3 products that were in that invoice. So I'm going to go ahead. I can select different invoices of different customers and create a backorder PO, or I can just say create a backorder PO for this particular. Once again, the same process. Do you have a preferred vendor? We saw that I don't have preferred vendor, so I'll say no. So I will manually assign a vendor here. I'm creating a backorder PO. It's giving me, this PO is getting created for customer Abel. So these products, when they arrive, this invoice is going to get updated as products received. And I'm going to save that. I just created a purchase order. That purchase order number got allocated to that PO. If you click on the question mark, now there could be more than one PO assigned to that invoice. That's why we have a question mark. So if you click on that, it can show comma separated purchase orders, which are assigned to that invoice. Let's go ahead and check my PO. Over here, my purchase order is created. If I look at this one, this is the one I just created. We have 2 steps of receiving the stock. Your team can just receive the stock, your warehouse team, because you don't want to show them the cost of the product. You don't want to have them deal with the pricing and everything. Whereas the purchase manager can actually convert that to purchase. I will just do single one step. I'll create a purchase. Everything that was in my order, I am receiving it. The stock has been entered in the system. Let's go back to that invoice. My invoice is all green, good to go. If I break it by item list, it's telling me you got stock for everything, even in the pending delivery queue. But as we are focusing on the purchase processes, so a back order PO is going to come back to that original invoice and update it as your stock has been received. If it is not a back order PO, if it's a stock PO, then also it is going to update your invoice that you have stock, but then it is on the principle of first in, first out. So if these products have been received and it's not a back order PO, and I had some other invoice also from the past, which is waiting for delivery, it's going to update that invoice as, hey, you got the product, you can now fulfill it. And there are ways to reallocate it. Oh, invoice number 1 was made last week. That got updated as ready to be delivered, but my other customer is waiting. So you can detach and move it to another invoice and allocate it. So this is another way to create a PO on bulk from your pending invoices and then create it. So we did the reorder, we came to the sales, and some of our customers use order module, so they can go there also and create back order POs. And for appliances, the serial number will get allocated back to that original order where you have created the PO. But I'm just creating, I don't have to create a PO. This is very simple. I already created the PO at Ashley or GE. I don't have time to create these POs in AltheaSuite. I just want to add my stock. What you're going to do is you can just create a purchase right away. There's no need to go through those steps. So it's up to you what workflow you want to follow. I can come here at any time, create a purchase, select my vendor, and add that stock. Now, if you don't even have time to do that you don't want to create the purchase document, talk to us. We have ability to upload purchases. So you have a new purchase, which is already sent to your vendor, from your vendor to you in a spreadsheet, which also has products which is furniture or maybe products with serial number. We have ability to upload the purchase with purchase order, meaning if you had an existing PO in the system, it will automatically clear that PO and mark it as complete. Or you don't have a PO, you're just receiving the products. You could still upload it without a purchase order. So these are several options that you can follow to create your purchase. So what I was saying in the beginning is that it's important that we have the purchase lead days defined. If you have order in multiple of things like that defined. Why? Because now over here, arriving quantity, we are showing you what is arriving. And if you again click on the question mark, only way we can show you what is arriving is because you define that date at the time of PO. By default, it takes today's date. So now if all the POs are getting created at today's date, obviously they're not going to arrive today. So over here, every time you just see arriving today, but that's wrong. That's not the actual arriving date. So for you to see that arriving quantity, purchase lead dates are important. Another filter is arriving in date range. Cameron came, said, I need this dishwasher, but I need it tomorrow. Well, you have something coming after 2 weeks. That's not going to be of any use. She needs it tomorrow. So you're going to apply this filter. Show me what is arriving this week. Now we will only show you what is arriving this week so that you can make that decision. Can I fulfill Cameron's order? Once again, the same option is available when you're even making a quotation and order. Arriving in date range, we tell you what is arriving in which date range. One another thing, since most of you also have furniture, I'm going to look for a group item and I'll show you how to create a PO for that. This particular item from Ashley is a set. A dresser and a mirror are two items which are in this set. Now, sometimes we hear that Ashley will send it as a set. A dresser and a mirror is coming together. Some customers say that sometimes the groups, they have to order separately. A dresser separate and a mirror separate. So if I am creating a purchase for such type of product and I create a purchase, even if you're coming from PO to purchase, if I add a product, you see this pop-up will come up. Are you receiving it as a single item? Meaning it's a group stock. Are you receiving it like that? Or do you want to break it up and add the stock for the dresser and mirror? Very important so that your stock gets managed correctly, because actually your stock count is for the dresser and the mirror in the system. That thing is just a group. So for anything which is related to a group, you will get this pop-up message. And you have to then decide what you're going to do. So I will say add BOM and group elements. So now in your purchase, it is actually going to increase the stock of a dresser and a mirror set. Something to be careful about when you're creating, because often we see that there's a mismatch in the system with the group stock because your warehouse team did not take care of this part. I think that is all I have to say. I really expedited the whole thing because there's a lot I could cover in the purchase. We will do the same session again next week. Anyway, if anybody wants one-on-one, we are already doing implementation and we will cover this in depth in those meetings. Anybody has any questions for us? Sounds good. Looks like we don't have any questions here. Since I have 2-3 more minutes, I will touch one more thing. If I go to settings and I go to my purchase settings, there are so many settings so that this is something, again, you need to look at it when you are creating the purchases. Do you want to manage revision numbers of your purchase order? So you created a PO, then somebody went ahead and made a change in that PO. So this particular checkbox manages the revisions. Oh, and the latest. So if I made a PO of one item, went back and changed it to 2, so the PO gets updated with 2 products. But you can see what was in revision 1 and what changes my team has done. Allow to specify additional expenses. Now you have shipping charges, you have freight charges, whatever that is. This is where you will define that. What should be account payable and what should be shipping expense account, and set that up during implementation. Then there are times that when you're receiving the purchase, right there, you want to apply your markups and margins and update your sales price. So there's a setting for that. By default, it's not enabled because that will open the whole screen where you can decide the sales price and product will get updated. then you want to receive more than what is in your PO, there is a setting for that. So these are several settings in the purchase order that we need to look at it and see if any of these are applicable for your business. You can get that implemented.
Sending your reply or tap the retry message. Say your message.
I
after the
think
tone.
we are good for today. There are no more questions. So we'll end this meeting and we'll continue with the same workflow next week at the same time. And we have another training on Friday, which is delivery module. So understanding the delivery, dispatch, pickup, and trips is something we are covering there. Please, if you have time, join our meeting. Cameron, can you check what time is that?
I believe it's tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Sending your reply.
PST.
9 a.m. PST.
Your message
So
after the
yes,
tone.
Nate is taking that training, and then you all are welcome to join that. Thank you. We'll see you again.
Bye.